Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be looking at the Hyundai Kona N-Line. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving some time with this Kona. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbo 1.6 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 24 around town and then 29 on the highway, with power outputs being 190 horsepower and then 195 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see here how it's got kind of like a boxer design with the lines just going straight towards the headlights. And speaking of, well, these actually aren't the headlights, accent lighting, the headlights are actually down below with the turn signal indicator, so kind of a different design. You can see the trim here at the bottom of the grill is all blacked out. You get a little N-Line badge there on the other side, but overall, it's kind of futuristic looking. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235 by 45 by 19 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, very intricate with the design. I mean, crisscrossing all over the place. You got the N-Line badge there on the side, blacked out mirror cap as well, and look at all the body lines that crisscross. Kind of gives it a crazy appearance. But look at this from the side profile. This is unlike pretty much any other car on the market. And this of course leads us to the key fob, which also has a futuristic kind of look to it. But yeah, lock, unlock, remote start, and all of that. So pretty straightforward setup. And this of course leads us to the rear. So the hatch is just hydraulic, but yeah, really good storage space here in the back. You've got the cargo cover built in from the factory, and again, this is a smaller sized crossover, so it's not going to be massive. Anyways, this is pretty cool to get that down. You got the giant light bar there on the back, I like the lighting down below, and look at the dual exhaust tips at the bottom. Pretty cool looking. But there's the exterior, and then this leads us inside. So it's actually kind of like soft touch down there, but overall a little bit more basic with material use in the door panel. It's not basic are the seats. I think the trim looks pretty cool. Got the red stitching there too. And then, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit tighter back here, so that is something to note. Again, smaller SUV. Got the vents back here, some USB ports as well. I like this trim. This is actually really nice to sit on. Anyways, headroom's actually pretty darn solid. And then this leads us up front. So again, you can see all the soft touch trim here, and then you got our window controls there as well. Got the blind spot warning with the mirrors. And here's the front seat. Again, got the N logo. Cool trim down the center portion. All of our adjustments on the side. You can see that the hill descent control, stability control as well. And then look at the pedals. Pretty fancy looking overall. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see it's a nice soft touch trim there at the top and down below. You also got the N logo there. Perforated on either side. Paddle shifters there on the back. Bunch of practical controls in the front, including our voice command controls, volume controls, cruise control, lane centering, and all that. And then we've got traditional stocks here in the back, but we also have a column shifter, so that's a little bit of a change, right? And then here is the gauge cluster. So it is digital. You can scroll through and see different bits of information here on systems within the car itself. And then on top of that, we also have our drive modes, which it doesn't do anything too crazy with the gauge cluster. It just changes the drive mode, but still, it's something. So in reverse, we do have a backup camera, which trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, pretty decent resolution. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time. With the screen, it is one unit, by the way. It's all interconnected. And then you can see here with the red trim on the vents, same thing across as well. And this is cool with the storage above glove box. And here's a quick look at the glove box itself. And then we've got our analog controls here for the radio, dual zone climate controls as well. And then all of our charging ports and everything, wireless phone charging pad. And then heated seats, your auto hold, drive mode select with the center locker there, which is interesting, but it basically just locks the all-wheel drive system to make it so that it's even front to rear, mostly even. Got the over-engineered cup holders down below, which is I think a cool feature. You can have tons of storage here. Center console area is nice. I like this trim here on the top. I think that's nice as well. And then we've got a manual mirror dimmer, and then no sunroof with this model. So here's a quick look at the window sticker. You can see Kona N-Line S all-wheel drive. It's your base MSRP, total MSRP, $32,960. And with that being said, let's see how it performs. Let us set off in the Kona N-Line. Visibility, by the way. Not the best through the back, but you know, the price you pay for the cool spoiler and the cool design overall. So, seats are actually pretty comfortable. I like these seats. They're sporty looking and they're comfy. It's like you get the best of both, it appears. Good torque right off the bat. Good torque right off the bat. And handling's pretty good too. I like the steering wheel. It has a premium feel to it. That's another big plus, if you ask me. And going over the bumps, I mean, you feel a little bit in the suspension, but overall it doesn't do anything too crazy. Man, this truck. It's okay. I do it too sometimes where I accidentally pull out of a driveway kind of awkwardly. Did have a trailer. In other news, traffic's backed up. This is becoming a more and more common sight in Utah. Californians move to the state and then they crash because they don't know how to drive on anything but, and today's dry, even in dry pavement, Californians, they crash, man. I don't know why, but anyways, sport mode. Yeah, pretty quick. Turbo power, man. Turbo power. It is solid. Yeah, I like the feel this has. The transmission's pretty smooth too. So, yeah, I think it's positive all around. Yeah. So to sum things up here with the Kona N-Line, this is a nice little crossover. Again, just over $30,000. You get a sporty feeling, sporty looking crossover. It's got solid features, and that's just the big thing. Hyundai's playing the value game, and they're not. And here's the big thing is they're not making crappy feeling cars. Like, you could forgive them for making something that was more Mitsubishi like. Let's put it at that. But they don't. They make cars that feel and look very nice in the segments that they compete in. And so, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any downside. What it looks like from the exterior is that you get an affordable car that checks a lot of boxes. I mean, like this one, for example, this can, for a lot of people, it's like, it's sporty enough that it's fun to drive around and it's got enough space. And then it also looks cool. I think that's important. It's definitely different, but it still looks cool with this N-Line package. So it's something that, you know, you don't like want to get another car just because you're like, man, I'm sick of my ugly car. But what do you guys think about the Kona N-Line? But I think this is a great all-wheel drive crossover that gives you fun and good looks and good features at a reasonable price.